Hello, this is David Jenkins, the Plata Town Council member from Ward 4. I will be your host for this podcast, providing updates about the La Plata Town Council meetings, issues we discuss, and those issues affecting you as residents, and other related activities and issues. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, D. Jenkins, LP Town Council Ward 4. Please note the Town Council has work sessions each month on the second and third Tuesday, with our business meeting on the fourth Tuesday. All meetings start at 6 p.m. using the Microsoft Teams platform. Meeting agendas can be accessed through our town website, and all meetings are recorded. So now let's get started with our latest update. Hi, and welcome again to this latest episode of the Plata Ward 4 Update Podcast. This is David Jenkins, the Plata Town Council member from Ward 4, and your host for this podcast, as well as my companion, the Plata Ward 4 Update video, now posted on YouTube. This is the next podcast in a series about growth in and adjacent to La Plata and the impact on the town's infrastructure. It's important to understand all the hard work planning that goes on behind the scenes to maintain, operate, and expand these services. The water is here where you turn on your faucet, the toilet flushes when needed, and the trash is picked up. The first podcast in this series, entitled La Plata Development, was posted on July the 6th. This was then followed by an overview of the town's water system, which was posted on July 17th. The information source of these podcasts is from La Plata's Director of Operations and the Department of Public Works staff, who operate and maintain these services. These services are called enterprise funds, which are funded through user fees as well as available state, federal grants, and loans. Today's podcast is about La Plata's public water system. The Maryland Department of the Environment requires that an operator of a municipal wastewater treatment plant, such as La Plata, must adopt a plan and submit reports when the sewage treatment plant reaches 75 to 80% of its rated capacity. According to Maryland Department of Environment figures, MDE, La Plata's treatment plant is approaching that level, or between 70 to 80% of its rated capacity. Now, this initial plan was created in 2008 and has been updated since then with the latest revision filed in January 2020. A little bit of history about our water system. Our sewer system. It was originally built in 1955 and included a trickling filtered water sewage treatment plant and a collection system with a capacity of 350,000 gallons per day and designed to serve a population of approximately 1,500 people. As the town grew, the sewage treatment plant was expanded and upgraded. In 1970, the original plant was replaced with 2 activated sludge modules, and the capacity of the treatment plant was increased to 1 million gallons per day, MGD. In 2002, the sewage treatment plant was upgraded and modified to include advanced treatment called biological nutrient reduction, BNR, and another module was added to then increase the treatment capacity of our sewage treatment plant to 1.5 million gallons per day, with an average peak flow capacity of 3 million gallons per day. In 2007, the town conducted a feasibility study to determine the most cost-effective way to bring the sewage treatment plant up to enhanced nutrient reduction standards and eventually increase the capacity to 2.5 million gallons per day in anticipation of town growth. Now, please note that any expansion will comply with the Charles County Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan and also with the Town of La Plata's 2020 Comprehensive Plan, and specifically its growth element, land use element, and water resources element within the town's 2020 Comprehensive Plan. The feasibility study was provided to the Maryland Department of the Environment and recommended that this expansion be done in phases, and it was agreed to use Chesapeake Bay restoration funds to fund upgrade to ENR or enhanced nutrient removal standards, while still maintaining a rated capacity of 1.5 million gallons per day. A construction contract was awarded and work began on this expansion in 2011, with final completion in 2013. This upgrade enabled the town's treatment plant, as well as Charles County, to meet the state's total maximum daily limits, that is TMDL, to preserve and enhance tributary strategies and to protect tier water streams. A new NPDES program. This is a program that controls water pollution by regulating point sources, sewage outfall, that could discharge pollutants in the waters of the United States. Now, this permit was issued to the town with an initial limit of sewage flow of 1.5 million gallons per day. So, and hopefully after the plant has been modified to meet these standards, ENR standards, the permitted flow may be increased to 2.0 million gallons per day. Now, while that capacity is being worked on, please note that some of the sewage trunk lines, as well as interceptors in our sewage collection system, has not been upgraded enough to handle the increased sewage being generated from the treatment plant expansion itself, as well as from town growth. Another issue affecting the sewage collection system is overflows during major rain events. This is due because the original town sewer system used pipes made of concrete and cast iron that have deteriorated over the years. This is due to both the terrain in the town, slopes, as well as the development patterns. Our current sewage collection system uses 19 pumping stations, including the current one located at Willow Lane, which is designed to handle 65% of the total sewage generated in the town when the plant reaches its 2.5 million gallons per day capacity. Some of these pump stations in the town also have very long pressurized sewer force mains. And in fact, one main is 1 mile long and unfortunately generate a lot of what they call sodium hydroxide that causes the manholes and the sewer gravity mains to deteriorate. The newest sewer lines now being installed are made of PVC and therefore don't deteriorate as quickly as the original system did. There's another issue affecting our sewage collection system, and this is called inflow and infiltration, which is caused by groundwater seepage and rainwater getting into the sewer lines. This problem has been aggravated because the original sewer trunk lines going into the sewage treatment plant were not large enough to handle I&I, in addition to the sewage being generated as the town has grown. Now, there are 4 major housing developments currently in the planning stages or under construction within the town limits at the present time. Nearly all of these systems have sewer collection systems and have been expanded to handle the additional sewage as well as the flow from infill and infiltration during major rain events. The sanitary sewer overflows from the collection system now only occur very infrequently and sometimes during major rain events when the peak flow exceeds the treatment plant's capacity. An additional to handle this, then the town has undertaken an additional a construction to add a 1.5 million gallon equalization tank to handle excessive inflow and infiltration during these heavy rain events, and to therefore even the flow through the treatment plant. This tank is connected to a computer system that monitors the system and controls the inflow into the system as well the effluent from these tanks into the treatment system or the treatment plant. As part of the ongoing work to expand and improve our sewer system, the town has contracted with a consulting engineering firm called McCrone, and they are developing a corrective action plan to design, finance, and construct and operate the town's sewer system that will still comply with environmental standards as well as provide the capacity to meet anticipated demands as the town grows. This plan includes detailed activities, schedules, and a projected time frame for the expansion of each recommended component. The overall goal of the plan is to upgrade the treatment plant and associated sewage collection system as needed to accommodate a total flow of 2.5 million gallons per day that could be generated within the town at build-out, consistent with current zoning regulations and the goals and objectives of the 2020 Town Comprehensive Plan. Additional improvements are also underway, including several upgrades to existing sewer trunk lines and existing pumping station in the collection system. So as you can see, the town continues to maintain and upgrade the sewer system, meeting state and federal standards. So again, this is just a brief summary of the current sewer system and how the town is handling existing and projected growth. I want to turn very quickly to provide a correction and a follow-up from my July 17th podcast about the town's water system. I didn't emphasize enough that there are water conservations underway to conserve water. This includes the use of a Water Smart customer portal, which allows individual customers to review and pay their water bills online. They can track their daily water usage. They can compare water usage to previous time periods. They can receive leak alerts about their system in their houses and get tips on how to save water and money. I have used the system myself, and it's very helpful. And in fact, it allowed me to locate a leak in one of my sinks, and therefore I saved considerable amount of money by not paying extra water that I would have used if the leak had not been found and then corrected by myself or my plumber. So a link is provided in this podcast notes to the Water Smart customer portal for your use and consideration. And another conservation effort the town is looking at is in anticipation of the state initiative, we are planning for what they call gray water recycling. That is, this is a recycling system that treats wastewater from showers, baths, and sinks. So therefore, it can be used again as non-potable, that is, non-drinking purposes. Gray water recycling could save up to 13,000 gallons of drinking water per household annually. So that's a pretty good sustained conservation and reuse of water. So I just wanted to provide a little correction and a little more emphasis on our water conservation efforts. So our next podcast in this series will be about the town's stormwater management system. So again, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. And please email me your questions and comments and observations at my email address, djenkins@townlaplata.org. Again, I appreciate your listening and your comments. Have a great rest of the summer. This concludes the latest La Plata Town Council Ward 4 update. I hope you find this podcast informative and useful. So let me know what you think. I look forward to speaking to you again and listening to your questions and concerns. To reach me, my email address is djenkins@townoflaplata.org or my cell phone number is 301-263-3471. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.